It started with a whisper. A single envelope slipped through the shadowed corridors of Buckingham Palace. Its seal marked in deep crimson wax, bearing the name Princess Anne. No one knew what it contained. Not the staff, not the courtiers, not even those closest to the king. Anne felt it instantly. The tension, the gravity, something hidden, something monumental. And for the first time in decades, the calm, composed princess sensed fear, not for herself, but for what this secret could mean. Before we dive deeper into this shocking discovery, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what comes next. The story will shake everything you thought you knew about the royal family. The envelope arrived silently, carried by a courier whose very presence seemed heavy with warning. The palace staff exchanged uneasy glances. Even the most seasoned footmen, who had walked these halls for decades, whispered that they had never seen anything like it. The wax seal glimmered red in the candlelight, far different from the traditional gold they had seen 1,000 times. Anne held it in her hands, feeling its weight. Something about the seal felt alive, almost warning her to be careful. Finally, she broke it. Inside lay a letter, written in Charles's unmistakable hand, at once familiar, yet strange, heavy with a vulnerability the king never showed in public. The opening line sent a chill down Anne's spine. To my sister, my confidant, forgive me for the silence I've kept. Not just a greeting, not just a formality, a confession. Anne's pulse raced. Memories of childhood flooded back. Quiet corridors, shared secrets, laughter and grief interwoven through years of royal duty. She had always believed she knew her brother completely, but now a letter whispered otherwise. The words hinted at choices made alone, decisions that could alter history. Phrases like "my personal decree" and "beyond the crown's reach" leapt from the paper. Anne realized that she was holding not just a message, but a key to truths long buried beneath centuries of protocol and expectation. As Anne dug further, she uncovered a second hidden will, a personal draft Charles had kept secret. The official will detailed estates, titles, and ceremonial duties. The secret will, it was different. It spoke in tones only a sibling would understand. A tone that carried sorrow, regret, and a burden Charles had carried alone. The clauses were shocking. Estates once bound to tradition were reassigned. Some went to charitable foundations that Diana had championed, quietly preserving her legacy. Others went to heirs Anne never expected. Every allocation carried intent, redemption, reconciliation, and most importantly, a warning about the fragility of the monarchy itself. Anne's investigation revealed something more disturbing. Camila, the queen consort, had been quietly shaping parts of the will. Notes in her handwriting, private consultations, discreet legal memos, all pointed to a deliberate orchestration. Her influence ensured her bloodline would secure power long after Charles's passing. Estates, titles, and charitable trusts had been subtly adjusted to favor her circle. Anne felt a surge of fury, decades of loyalty and sacrifice, and yet the monarchy's trajectory had been quietly rewritten behind her back. Then came the most astonishing revelation, a hidden directive addressed to Prince William and Princess Catherine. Charles had been planning not for death, but for a revolution within the monarchy itself. Properties once tied to Camilla's circle were reassigned to William's foundation. Influence subtly shifted to the next generation, preparing them not just to inherit, but to lead with empathy, modern ideal, and transparency. Charles's secret clause subtly diminished Camilla's power, while elevating William and Catherine to moral authority within the royal family. Anne realized the king's vision was revolutionary, a monarchy redefined, prepared for survival in a modern world. Yet the cost had been hidden from her, the sister he had always trusted most. Anne's hands trembled as she read the final chilling line. A son born of love, not title, hidden, possibly unknown to the world, perhaps unaware of his birthright. Rumors from decades ago, dismissed as tabloids, suddenly made terrifying sense. Charles had carried a secret that could shatter succession itself. Every forced smile, every public appearance, every weary sigh in his later years had been weighed down by this truth. The monarchy had been built on appearances, but behind the curtains, reality was far more fragile. Anne faced a choice: reveal this secret and risk a scandal that could destroy the monarchy, or guard it as her brother had and bear the burden of silence. Shock gave way to clarity. The betrayal she had felt melted into understanding. Charles had acted to protect, not to exclude. His secrecy was love, his distance a shield. Every clause, every hidden message, every calculated silence was a safeguard against manipulation and corruption. Anne's grief hardened into resolve. She would honor her brother's intent. She would safeguard the monarchy's legacy and carry forward the moral heart of the crown. In Balmoral, a small sealed box arrived, unseen by lawyers, advisors, or Camilla. Inside, a single letter from Charles, trembling with emotion. "I did this not to hurt you, but to protect what we both loved, Mother's legacy." Anne realized everything. The hidden clauses, the secrecy, the distant behavior had been acts of preservation. Charles had carried the burden of the crown alone, shielding her from its ugliness. His love had been quiet, patient, sacrificial. The final words were a command, a lesson. There can be no crown without the heart to bear it. Remember that, Anne. When truth and duty collide, choose both, or the monarchy will not endure. Anne's tears fell freely, but a steely resolve formed in her heart. She would honor her brother, protect the legacy, and carry the monarchy forward, ready to face whatever storm came next. Dawn broke over Balmoral, mist curling like whispered secrets across the hills. Princess Anne stepped into the light, carrying the weight of her brother's hidden legacy. The monarchy, the crown, and the truth behind them had changed forever. What happens next? The royal family is about to face challenges no one saw coming. And Anne? She is ready to ensure that the crown survives, but at a cost the world is only beginning to understand. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This story is far from over, and the next revelations will shock the world.